Hare Krishna Mataji. My humble obeisances are goes to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
They are taking picture of me, that's why I am going to be black now. I don't want that.
So we'll begin. Let's chant one round of Japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare, Hare Krishna जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Sloka. We're going to recite from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 14. Yes, Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
सर्वमेतदृतं मन्ये यन्मां वादसि केशव नाहि ते भगवान् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवा न दानवा. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can one understand your personality. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jesus. Oh Krishna, I accept as truth all that you tell me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Achintya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Sarvametadritam manye
Sarvam etad ritam manye
yanmam vadasi keshava
yanmam vadasi kesava
nahi te bhagavan vyaktim
nahi te bhagavan vyaktim
vidur deva nadanava.
vidur deva nadanava. Translation. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Isha.
सर्वमेतदृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव नहि ते भगवान् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देव न दानव. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Krishna Ashish.
सर्वमेतद् मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव नहि ते भगवन् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देवान दानवा. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Madhava.
सर्वमेतदृतं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव नहि ते भगवान् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देव न दानव. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Sarvam etad vritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva nadanava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji. Oh, maybe Mataji is not able to read. Okay. Nilamari Mataji. Actually, Nilamari Mataji should have gone first. Yes, Mataji. Maybe later. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Mataji, you called Priyanka Mataji. Then you called me?
Yes, I did. Go ahead,
Okay.
Mataji. Recite the verse.
Dandvat Pranam Mataji, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Sarvameta Ritam Manye Yanmam Vadashi Keshava Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim Vidurdevana Danavaha. Krishna, O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigod nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Hare Krishna
Thank
Mataji.
you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. I understand. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji. Next is Vindhyavali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
My humble obeisances. Glory to
Please
Srila
accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
सर्वमेतद्रितं मन्ये यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवान् व्यक्तिं विदुर्देव न दानव. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Rasapriya.
सर्वमेतद्ब्रह्मण्यं यन्मां वदसि केशव न हि ते भगवान् व्यक्तं विदुर्देव न दानव. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Did anyone not recite yet? Everyone has recited. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 14. Sarvametadritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur devana danava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. O Lord, neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Okay. Let's recite Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 6, The Downfall of Saubhari Muni. So Saubhari Muni is considering what is the cause of his fall down. So what was the cause? What was his conclusion? Saubhari Muni's conclusion? Association with what? With the fish, yes. With the sexual activities of the fish. Because of that association, he also got a desire. Okay. What did Srila Prabhupada say in the purport? That Vaishnava Aprad, yes. What was the Vaishnava Aprad? To whom did Saubhari Muni commit a Aprad? You should speak in this. Others can't hear what you're saying.
Garuda, he didn't allow Garuda to eat. He stopped him from taking fish to eat.
Yes. So Saubhari Muni stopped Garuda from taking fish from the Yamuna, from the lake where he was performing tapasya. So for that offense, he fell down. One more point Srila Prabhupada said about, so Saubhari Muni further started contemplating. So my fall down is because of association, even though I was, no. So the point was that people should learn from my example, how I fell down because of bad association. Bad association with what? With fish. So he's saying that those who want to transcend the material modes, right? So those who are trying for spiritual advancement, whether they are jnanis or yogis or bhaktas, they should very strictly avoid association of materialistic people. So then, and they should stay in seclusion. Yes, they should stay in seclusion and practice their particular yoga. Of course, he's a mystic yogi, so he's thinking about yoga practices. There also Srila Prabhupada made an important point, that simply staying in seclusion cannot assure that you are away from bad association. Saubhari Muni was underwater. What type of association would he get there? And he's performing tapasya underwater. Still, he got bad association even underwater. So then what is the solution? What is the solution? What did Srila Prabhupada say in the purport?
With devotee association. Similar
Stay in
minded.
yeah. No, similar minded, yeah, that's right. So avoid bad association means you have to stay in good association. Right, you have to stay in the association of devotees. I'm still in Mandata. Okay. He should associate with persons similarly engaged. So there Srila Prabhupada said in the purport that so a secluded place is not secure. Then what should we do? By gradually associating with the members of Krishna. Okay, so giving devotee association. So he should not associate with Vishayi. Then you have to get the association of one should engage in the service of acharyas. And if one wants to live in association, he must live in the association of devotees. Okay. So basically the solution is, as Mataji said, you should get the association of devotees. So simply avoiding bad association and staying in seclusion is not a safe path. Even if you are in seclusion, still some bad association can come there. May not be in the form of people, it can be in some other form. So the solution is stay in the association of devotees and engage, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, engage in the service of the acharyas. So we discussed how to stay in the association of acharyas. You can study their writings, you can sing the bhajan songs that they have written, you can offer prayers to them. Here in Mayapur there is Samadhi, right? Or in Vrindavan, there are samadhis of acharyas. So there are devotees, like they go to the samadhi every day, they clean, they sweep, they clean, right? And maybe bring some bhoga, like that. So one way or the other, connect with the acharyas for association. Of course, in all our temples, we have Guru Puja, associating with the spiritual master, like that. So stay in good association, in the association of devotees, render devotional service in the association of devotees. That is the solution. I think we have to start with the next verse today. Okay, this is Brahma Samhita meter. एकस्तपस्व्यहमथाम्बसि मत्स्य सङ्गात् पञ्चाशदासमुतपञ्चसहस्रसर्गः नान्तं व्रजाम्युभयकृत्य मनोरथानां मायागुणैर्हृतमतिर्विषयेऽर्थभावः. Whose turn is it today? I think not many people read, like we were going one shloka a day like that, and then we got a gap of 2 classes in between. Where should I start?
Nasima.
Leela Chaitanya Prabhu read. So Neelamari Mataji will read.
Yes, okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Neelamari Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I read last day.
You read?
Any-
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, you are able to read? No? I think you said Madhavi is sleeping. I'm just checking in case you're able to read. Okay. If when you're ready, you can just raise your hand. So Vindhyavali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. In the beginning, I was alone and engaged in performing the austerities of mystic yoga. But later, because of the association of fish engaged in sex, I desired to marry. Then I became the husband of 50 wives, and in each of them I begot 100 sons. And thus, my family increased to 5,000 members. By the influence of the modes of material nature, I became fallen and thought that I would be happy in marital life. Thus, there is no end to my material desires for enjoyment in this life and the next. Hare Krishna.
Wow. Hare Krishna. So Saubhari Muni is thinking how nicely I was engaged in yoga all by myself. And he did so good because he got such mystic powers that he used up later. But he's thinking, because of association with fish, I desired to marry. I saw fish having sex and then I desired to marry myself. And I married 50 wives. I became the husband of 50 wives. And in each wife, I begot 100 sons. So he got 100 sons in each wife. Like that, he had 50 wives, 5,000 children. So he really, enjoyed, I guess. But he was, and in order to maintain them, of course, he was using up all his results, siddhis, which he attained by his mystic yoga. So now he is regretting. There's no end to my material desires. There's no end. My family has increased to 5,000. And all that is the result of once Srila Prabhupada was visiting one wealthy, family in India, and they were like, I think they became like life members or something. And then the head of the family started calling each one of his family members, so many family members. This is my wife, and this is my son, and this is my son's wife, and this is my grandson, and like that, so many family members, one after another, one after another. He was introducing, showing, right? And then Srila Prabhupada turned to his disciples and said, "This is my sex life." So many family, so many family members mean so much enjoyment. So like that, Saubhari Muni had 5,000 family, especially because you feel proud, right? Materialistic
Yeah.
people, they feel proud about it. I have so many members, and they're all so beautiful and qualified and educated and this and that. They feel proud about it. So that's why Srila Prabhupada said. Similarly, Saubhari Muni he is himself, he's condemning himself. He's saying, there's no end to my material enjoyment. My desire, there's no end to the desires of my material enjoyment. Again, this desire for material enjoyment, it is never going to be, we saw that. Who was saying that? Saubhari Muni is only saying, or actually Sukadeva Goswami must be saying, that like fire, right? The more you put fat into fire, the fire is never going to be extinguished. The more fat you put, the more it will get bigger. It will need more and more fat. It will get bigger and bigger. So similarly, sense gratification, desire for material enjoyment is such that the more you satisfy it, the more it demands. It's not like, okay, now I have satisfied, so now I'm peaceful. It will want more and more and more. So Saubhari Muni is seeing it practically in his life. And now after all this, he's thinking, alas, how I wasted my, valuable energy. I just wasted for sense gratification. Why all this happened? Simply because of association with those fish. Like that. Aditi Lata Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, for some reason, I have also observed this, that during a certain age, people are having that desire because of Maya. Nowadays, I mean, I get to realize it when I see on anyone that that certain age they will have desire for marriage, and the moment that that age passes, then they are released from that grip. So the Maya is also works in that way, Mataji. Even for kids, having kids after marriage also. I mean, people can live their life without kids, right? But then they will have that desire. Even I had that desire, intense desire that I want to have kids. That we are made in such a way, the Maya is made in, material energy is made in such a way that the desire is comes even if you don't associate, um, because of the family pressure. The marriage comes, then you start feeling that maternal feeling or paternal feeling, whatever feeling, to have kids. So that is something even without association that is there. That is
But
why we see so much brahmachari, they leave to go to grihastha life because of that intense
mm,
push.
mm, that's there. Yeah, what you're saying is right. There is a certain age, but again, Maya cannot be more powerful than Krishna.
Course. That is there.
So it's not that everyone falls for that. As you said, they may have that uh, urge, but they will be able to tolerate it if they are seriously practicing Krishna consciousness, especially avoiding offenses. That is, offenses is what, you know, traps a person. And desire for, these are also results of offenses actually. Desire for profit, adoration, distinction. That is also actually a result of offense, we have seen. So if we are not carefully practicing devotional service, and again, remember those 4 principles. What were they? Humility, tolerance, forgiveness,
Right.
and gratitude. Yes. If we don't focus on these qualities, of course, we need knowledge, no doubt. We need knowledge from Shastra. But simply getting knowledge from Shastra, simply knowledge is not sufficient. That knowledge has to be translated into these qualities, which will come by our sincerely chanting Hare Krishna and trying to render devotional service. So if we are not, again, same, the philosophy is the same. When you're watering the seed, if you have to be very careful about the weeds will come up. Certainly they come up in all plants. And if you are not careful, if you're not pulling out the weeds, if you're negligent, then the weeds will soon take over and your original plant is crushed. Similarly, these material desires, they can come up only if we are not being attentive in our devotional service. And when are they strongest? As you said, it may be during a certain age. But it is not that that is when it happens and after that one is free. That's not correct. That's not correct. Well, like people get, at a certain age, they have intense desire. Again, when we are under the material clutches of the material energy, if we are not sincerely taking shelter of Krishna, of course, we are vulnerable to Maya, right? Krishna and Maya are there. If you are not turning to Krishna, then you are in Maya's lap. She's right there. Huh? Krishna bhuliya jeev, bhoga vancha kore, pasete maya tare, jhapatiya dhare. Right? Pasete maya tare. Maya is very close, but as soon she's looking for an opportunity. Krishna bhuliya jeev, bhoga vancha kore. By forgetting Krishna, he will desire bhog, enjoyment. And then immediately he's captured. As soon as he desires enjoyment, Maya captures him. Then what does Krishna say? Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante. Okay, now you've been captured by Maya, what should you do? Take shelter of Krishna. Mameva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Take shelter of Krishna. There is no other solution. And as far as getting these desires at a certain time and after that being relieved, you still have ways to go to see in life.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
will never go away.
That is there. Like I see that some. I mean, I'm saying materialistic people. There is
Of course.
there's a mother. There's a lady whom I met long time back. So she was desiring for kids, and she was not getting any kids, and she didn't get eventually. But she had all the miscarriages and all. I still see that sorrow in her face. Whenever I saw, and she said, "Now I gave up," but that was not in her hand. I mean, she tried again and again. She still desires it. So those things are there. Like it's always there. But then um we are not brahmachari, so aren't we supposed to have that? That is our normal instinct, right?
Well, the thing is, eating, sleeping, mating, defending are needs. Prabhupada said that. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending are the needs of the body. They are needs of the body. But it's not, but you are not the body, you're a spirit soul. So does the spirit soul need eating, sleeping, mating, and defending? No. Why we need it? Because I am still in the bodily concept of life, isn't it? I'm thinking I'm this body, and when I'm thinking I'm this body, I will need what the body needs. So the idea is actually I don't need because I'm a spirit soul, but because I'm in this bodily concept, because I think I'm this body, I need. I need to eat, I need to sleep, I need to mate, I need to defend. So our idea is to rise above this bodily platform and come to the spiritual platform. Therefore, we have to regulate our eating habits, our sleeping patterns, our mating patterns, and the defending patterns. We have to regulate it. That is human form of life. Unless we come to the point of regulation, we are living on the platform of animals. Because animals actually they follow regulation. They also don't go. They you see, animals they follow their nature, right? Animals have a certain time of the year when they mate, and then eating also. They only eat that food which is prescribed for them. They don't go for the food of somebody else, right? Uh, Same thing, sleeping also. Those who are nocturnal, they sleep during the day. Those who are diurnal, they sleep during the night. So they actually follow. Human beings are the ones, because they have more intelligence, they don't follow the system. We need to regulate. That's the point. We need to regulate. Not that every time we have an instinct, we should do that. No. So the point is to control. Life is tapo divyam putraka yena shuddhe yena. Anyway, Srila Rishabdev says, instructs his sons, 100 sons, headed by Bharat Maharaj. So Rishabdev says this human form of life is meant for tapasya. Tapasya means what? Tapasya means you have an inclination, but you voluntarily refrain from doing something. That is tapasya. I don't feel like doing and I'm not doing. What kind of tapasya is that? There is no tapasya there. Tapasya means even though you have the urge, even though you have the need, still you will refrain from it. Because, again, why we do that? Because the scripture says, right? Based on scripture. That's for human beings. That's why it's for human beings. So Prabhupada gave a standard, right? The whole idea is to stop 100%, not do it at all. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. It is possible. But for somebody who's used to that, Can he give it up abruptly all of a sudden? No, he won't be. He'll go mad. So then he has to gradually reduce it. So the goal should be clear in our mind. I don't want to go with this all my life. I want to gradually reduce until it comes to zero. Srila Prabhupada told about himself. He was a grihastha. He said, when I was a young man or when I was a grihastha, I conquered mating and defending. I've given up mating and defending. And now as a sannyasi, I've conquered or I'm conquering. I've conquered sleeping and eating also. So the idea is to eventually conquer and stop altogether. But if I say, well, this is natural, then we will not even try, isn't it? If we say that, if I tell myself that these are natural instincts, it's okay, there's nothing wrong, then I won't even try to overcome it. That's why we should have a regulation. So Srila Prabhupada said to his disciples, he said, once a month. And even that once a month is for procreating, for producing children. If you don't do it like that, then it is, in the Grihastha ashram, it is not a sin. It is not a sin. Nevertheless, it will block the progress of your spiritual life.
Yes, Mataji, though I'm not talking about the sex life, I'm talking about the desire for getting married and also having kids. So there are different.
For women, of course, women have that and they need to. Shastra says all women should get married. And the whole purpose of getting married is to have children. So for a woman to have that desire to be married and to have children, it's natural. She doesn't have to fight that and say, no, I should not desire to get married or I should not desire to have children. No, nobody says that. It's fine.
Yes, so because Shabari Muni is thinking about that, that's what I was wondering.
He's a man and he's a yogi.
But because woman also needs to get married to someone,
He doesn't have to marry. They can marry other kings and princes. Why did he have to fall down for that?
If
You understand?
I know, but if everyone thinks like that,
Everyone won't think like that, Mataji. No one will think. You know why? Because in this material world, 90%, how many yogis you will see in the world? You think about it. It will be one day if everyone becomes Krishna conscious, yeah, that will be wonderful. But not everyone comes, Mataji. And also, for that, if everyone thinks like this, those who are already there have conquered, they don't have to step down so that, women will remain unmarried. That's not going to happen. There will always be a percentage of people who will want to get married, men, and who are made for grihasthashram,
And I was thinking, think about it this way, Mataji, that those women are so fortunate, at least they did not get married to a normal lower grade materialistic people. Instead, at least yogi is in a different level, like more nearer to Krishna conscious than the normal materialist.
Well, when he was associating with them, he was not a yogi, so you understand? He
Yes.
was there with them because he wanted to enjoy. But now he's getting realizations, and then what will he do? Obviously, he'll leave them and he'll go away.
Yeah, and also he remember that sloka, Mataji, where it says that I think Chanakya Pandit's this thing Prabhupada always mentions that a grihastha life is vacant if there are no kids. So that desire also comes, which is good because to have kids, because otherwise it says that it is vacant.
Yes.
We can always think that, oh, Krishna conscious, yes, so we won't have kids because
That's nobody recommends that. That's very rare cases very, very rare cases where, for the sake of service, it's demanded or it is required, not demanded. It's, that first of all, if you don't want kids, you don't even need to get married. Why should you even go for marriage? Those who are so fixed in devotional service, being fixed in devotional service means what? Means you're dependent on Krishna. You're dependent on Krishna. Then why you need to get married? Especially for the man. Why he needs to get married? So, I have never heard from any spiritual master or anyone instructing the disciples, married couples, that you should not get children and you should just focus on your devotional service. Unless there are some other complications or whatever. That's why I'm saying exceptional cases may be there. But generally, marriage means you marry. Grihastha ashram means yes, you must have kids. So, but sometimes they don't get kids. That's a whole different story. Like you were saying, somebody, they tried and still they were not getting. In that case, the spiritual master may say, forget it, right? Forget it now, because Krishna is your child, right? Or Krishna is your husband. Don't worry about this. Just focus on devotional service. So that may be a blessing too. If they're able to overcome that and
Move forward.
dovetail that in Krishna's service, that would have been, that will be a blessing for them. So under all circumstances, surrendering to Krishna's will, whatever the cause, but things are not happening materially, just accept things and continue with devotional service. Easily told than done. I accept it, but that's the only way. Surrendering to Krishna's will and continue, and then we are actually making progress.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we read this already. Okay. So Saubhari Muni is thinking, I became husband of 50 wives. In each of them I begot 100 sons. My family increased to 5,000. By the influence of modes of material nature, I became fallen and thought. So this is nothing wrong. It's actually right that Saubhari Muni is thinking like this. That I became fallen. Right? Why? His consciousness was, let me enjoy. He was engaged. He was a yogi performing austerities, tapasya. He was doing yoga, and from that he came down. Right, the yogi, jnani, karmi. So from being a yogi, he came down to doing karma. That's a fall down for him. And after coming down, also he's engaging in enjoyment. So for him, it was certainly a fall down, and that's why he is regretting it. And it is correct. It's perfectly correct. His regretting is very good. Thus, there is no end to my material desires for enjoyment in this life and the next. This life is spoiled anyway. Imagine having 5,000 children. That means how much time and energy he must have spent. And now next life, because all the advancement that he made by his yoga, he spent all that. So next life again coming back to zero, or certainly coming back from where he was, because he spent what he earned. So I have spoiled this life and next life. Next verse. So Aditi Lata Mataji or Achintya Prabhu, Arunita, one of you will read. एवं वसन गृहे कालम विरक्तो न्यासमास्थितः वनं जगामानुययुस् तत्पत्न्यः पतिदेवताः.
In this way, he passed his life in household affairs for some time, but then he became detached from material enjoyment. To renounce material association, he accepted the Vanaprastha order and went to the forest. His devoted wives followed him, for they had no shelter other than their husband.
Yes. So he passed his
Yeah.
life in Mataji.
No, that is not the correct thing. Rama and Sita, they did. Wherever husband went, she went with him. But most of the material thing, the material love we talk about nowadays, nobody will go.
Right.
Just bye-bye to husband. That's it. They don't want to go.
What?
That's a lot of difference. Huh?
Mataji, Vanaprastha is a short time only. No, after that also they will be kicked out from there because sannyas, when the husband will go to sannyas,
Yes.
told to go back. So what
No,
is
but
Yes, but
Mataji is saying the wife's, what is her
wife's mood,
dedication to the husband,
dedication.
that even if he goes to the forest, she's not thinking, oh, we're in the forest, how I will live, I won't have my air conditioner, I won't have my refrigerator
Yeah,
and sofa and bed,
yeah.
and so I don't want to go through all that
Let him
difficulty.
go. I
You
don't want to
go,
go.
I will stay at home, I'll go to my father's house, I will stay there.
That's
When you come back, I'll come back to you. That would be the mentality of a woman
yeah,
normally. That's what
yeah,
Mataji said.
yeah.
okay. But anyway, they will be sent back, no? Generally, they're sent back, no? For when they go for
And
sannyas.
then
But
also as a service to husband is making progress. Sannyasi, I cannot stay with him. But her mood is service to husband. That's the point. Whether and even when she comes back home, she won't live in opulence. She will live in very simple life because the husband is sannyasi. Not that now I came back home, now I live in opulence. She will at home also she will be living simple life, you know, and her, yeah, this is a woman's life. She has to be always dependent. She's never
nowadays,
independent.
nowadays
Vanaprastha
women are
is long
independent.
time camping.
No, nowadays independent. Women are independent now.
Nowadays, let's not talk about nowadays. Let's talk about what Shastra tells us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we go against Shastra, then that is not an example. We don't have to follow that. That's actually a sign of degradation. Of course, we understand the reason for that is Kali Yuga, and in Kali Yuga, men have degraded, men have
Yeah.
become exploitative, and in order to cope with that exploitation, women have, maybe rebelled or whatever. But this is not a solution. The point is, this is not a solution. Now they fight, they rebel against husband, then men outside are exploiting them in the name of women's liberation. Now they go outside home and now they are exploited by other men. So
Yeah.
then where is the solution? So therefore Prabhupada says, and in Bhagavatam it is given, we finished reading that section about Sukanya. There Srila Prabhupada says, in other places also in Bhagavatam, I remember this because once I gave a seminar on this. Who is a Vedic woman? This was many years ago in New Vrindavan. So who is a Vedic woman? So in that I took several sections from Bhagavatam. So the conclusion is men have to be trained. It is the men who have to be trained. Therefore, there is Gurukula for boys. There is Brahmachari ashram for men, not for women. Because if the men are trained properly, then they will take care of women nicely. They will guide the woman, give proper protection to the woman, and also guide her in her spiritual life. And at proper time, they will hand over the wife to the grown-up son, and then they will continue, like we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. But if the men are not trained, we send them to regular schools and whatever they learn there, and then there's no training, then they get married and they think marriage means it's for sense gratification. And if I'm not getting proper sense gratification, leave this wife and go to somebody else. Why all this is happening? Because there's no training for men.
No training.
Men have to be trained. They have to be trained in the values, dharma. What is the dharma of a man? He has to be trained. Untrained person entering into Grihastha ashram will be chaotic. And we used to have joint families, Grihasthas, because the elders are there, they can guide them properly. They have that experience, they receive that from their superiors. Now they can pass on, they can help them
Now they're
maneuver.
more. Now they're no joint families at all. They don't like.
Exactly.
Elderly
And
people advise.
that's why so many divorces also.
Yes, yes.
See?
They don't like advices. Elderly people advise.
So yeah, but training is essential for men. The point is, if men are trained, then the family is good.
For
You cannot
anybody,
blame them.
for anybody, for a girl or for a boy, training is the main thing.
Yes.
If even girl also, if she's not trained properly, if she marries to a man and he's well trained also, she won't like all those things. So where will
Well, she will learn from her parents, mother,
parents?
father. Yes, but
First of all, mother is the one.
mother. Yes, yeah. And the husband, if he is actually properly trained, he can even gradually, if he is actually capable, he can even train a wife who may not have been trained.
It's mutual understanding, Mataji. Mutual understanding. Both of them has to work hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, topic goes somewhere.
Aditi Lata Mataji gets questions. It's good. She churns each verse nicely. Okay. So in this way, he passed his life in household life. Did we read this?
53 you're talking about now.
Yeah, we didn't read. So Mataji read, right? Aditi
read.
Lata Mataji. Yeah. So he lived in household life for some time like this, and also regretting, but he lived for some time. Then he became detached from material enjoyment. One more point is, this detachment, it's not like one fine day you get detachment and you leave and you go. You go back and forth, right? But finally, that point will come where you feel like enough is enough.
It's too
I need
late.
to leave. Yeah, it's too late. That's why if we follow Shastra, whether I feel like it or not, this is the time to leave, I have to leave. 50, over 50, Shastra says. Once you cross 50, enough, no more. No more enjoyment. That's Shastric injunction. So, Saubari Muni, now he is not a Muni, he is a married person. But he became detached from material enjoyment after spending some time like this in household affairs. Then, in order to renounce material association, he accepted Vanaprastha and went to the forest. But his wives also followed, and this is allowed. This is allowed. Vanaprastha means wives can accompany the husband, but there is no relationship, husband-wife relationship. Basically, Vanaprastha, the primary activity of Vanaprastha is tapasya. Tapasya. So husband is performing severe tapasya, wife will assist him in his tapasya. So we saw in the case of Kardama Muni and also Kashyapa Muni also. So the husband goes away from home, he's in the forest. Of course, they'll build a hut, a small, residence, a small hut with whatever's available in the forest. But husband goes away to perform tapasya for a long time. He can be in, trance, in meditation for months together. And the wife is at home. She's also, if the husband is doing tapasya, she's also doing tapasya. Like that. So she's also emaciated, living very simple. This is Vanaprastha life. It's not that because I'm going with my husband now we'll have a good time in the forest. That's not the idea. So the wives also followed, being chaste wives. They thought, what other shelter do we have other than our husbands? Although each one of them had 100 sons, but still they all followed their husband. So
All
like
5,000? All 5,000 sons also?
No, only wives. 50 wives followed. I'm
Then
saying
what will
So much
happen to
help,
this?
no? So many help, Mataji, for
Oh.
him. Help.
no. I'm saying that the wife could have stayed back because each one had 100 sons. So for some time with one son, some time with another son. So she could have spent her time with her sons, like she had a protector. If a woman who has a son, even if the husband dies, she's not considered a widow because she has someone to protect her. Her son will take care.
That's true.
So now each wife had 100 sons. So it's not that, oh, now I don't have anyone to take care of me.
More than her life, the sons will take care. 100 of them.
Yeah. But still, chaste ladies, so they just went with the husband, even though the husband is going to the forest, for vanaprastha. They prefer to go and assist the husband, serve the husband in his, tapasya, rather than stay at home with the sons and, be provided for by the sons. So this is their, commitment to their husbands. So here it is said they had no shelter other than their husband. So for a woman, really, she depends on her husband, right? He is the shelter. तत्र तप्त्वा तपस्तीक्ष्णम् आत्मदर्शनम् आत्मवान् सहैवाग्निभिरात्मानं युयोजा परमात्मनि. So Arunita and Achinta Devi.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
When Saupri Muni, who was quite conversant with the self,
Say loud, say loud.
when Saupri Muni, who was quite
Mm.
conversant with the self, went to the forest, he performed severe penances. In this way, in the fire at the time of death, he ultimately engaged himself in the service of the Supreme
Say
Personality.
loudly.
Now,
Yeah. The device, she's far away, so it's okay. We heard. When Saubari Muni, who was quite conversant with the self, he was a yogi and a very accomplished yogi in the past. He was performing yoga, he became so old, right? So he was quite conversant with the self. When he went to the forest, he performed severe penances. That means he was familiar with the process. So he performed very severe penances. In this way, in the fire at the time of death, he ultimately engaged himself in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So let's see. He is still a yogi here. Yogis, what is the destination of yoga? Destination of yoga is liberation. Liberation. And liberation is 5 types. So either it can be Sayujya liberation, that means going and merging into Brahman, or merging into Paramatma. Either one is possible. Thank you, Mataji. So merging into Brahman or merging into Paramatma, both are possible for a yogi, the destination of a yogi. Or he can even become an associate. Associate means not associate, sorry. That is only if it has bhakti. But by yoga you can get other types of liberation. Samipya, Sayujya, Sarupya, Salokya. You can get liberation by performing yoga, depending on what it is that you are aspiring for. So here it is said that at the time of death, in the fire at the time of death, he engaged himself in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So let's read purport. Achinta De Prabhu.
Purport. At the time of death, fire burns the gross body, and if there is no more desire for material enjoyment, the subtle body is also ended. And in this way, a pure soul remains. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Tattva Deham Punar Janma Mati. If one is free from the bondage of both the gross and subtle material bodies and remains a pure soul, he returns home back to Godhead to be engaged in the service of the Lord. Tattva Deham Punar Janma Naiti Mam Eti. He goes back.
Back to
It appears that Sabari Muni attained that perfect stage. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So here, Srila Prabhupada is saying, first point is that if you have no material desire, this point, try to understand about the subtle body. What is the subtle body? Subtle body is your mind, intelligence, ego, false ego. Chitta, mana, buddhi, ahankar. This is your subtle body. Just like you have a gross body made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. When you die, then you leave this gross body, and this gross body is either buried or burned or eaten by some animal. So gross body is finished. Yes? And then there is subtle body. With that subtle body carries you to the next body. So you get a gross body as long as you have a subtle body. Because the subtle body is your mind with all your desires and basically all your material desires. To fulfill those desires, now you have to take another body. Or also karma, right? You have some karma, so you have to take the reactions of that karma, so you have to take another body. But if you have at the time of death, moment of death, if you are free from all material desires, you don't have any material desire, then in the purport Srila Prabhupada is saying, then your subtle body is also dissolved. There's no more mind, intelligence, because that means they're all purified. So you don't have any material mind, material intelligence and false ego you don't have. Now all that is finished. So when there's no more material component left, what business do you have in this material world? You understand? So gross body is given up, subtle body also is dissolved. So then what will happen to him? He'll be liberated depending on whatever his goal is. So about Saubari Muni, Prabhupada is saying, or in the translation it is said, at the moment of death, he remembered the Supreme Lord. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. So at the time of giving up this body, if one remembers only me, mam eva, then what is the result? Ya prayati sa madbhavam. He will attain my nature. Yati. Nasti atra samshaya. There's no doubt in this. He will attain my nature. What is the Lord's nature? His nature is, that means his internal energy, right? His nature, not external energy. So he will go to the spiritual world. If he remembers him, Krishna, Mam, when Krishna is speaking, he is speaking about him. So if you think of Krishna, then you'll go to Krishna. You'll attain to his nature. But if somebody is thinking of Paramatma, he'll go to Paramatma. Paramatma means again you have Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu. Again, what type of, you want to go and merge into him or you want to become his associate? So it all depends on your desire, what it is that you are aspiring for, then that's what you get. So about Saubhari Muni, Srila Prabhupada is quoting, Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. So there is no question of coming back again. And it appears that he attained that perfect stage. What is that perfect stage? Not coming back to this material world again. Yeah, no more bondage, not coming back to this material world. Then where did he go? Whatever he meditated on, that's where he will go. Whichever form of the Lord he was meditating on, that's where he will go. Okay, so we ended with Achintadev Prabhu, Arunita and Aditilata Mataji's family. So tomorrow we will start with, if Inba Inya are there, we will begin with Inba and Inya. Otherwise, Isha will begin. So I will also, is it okay if I read Bhagavad Gita and Leelamrita, or do you want me to end here? It's already 8 minutes over time.
Mataji, you can continue if others are okay with it.
Okay. Yeah, if anybody needs to go, you can leave, and I'll just read Bhagavad Gita and Leelamrita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Introduction, continuation. So what did we read last? The sincere student should also have a firm respect for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yeah, so we were seeing who is eligible to understand Bhagavad Gita. Why Krishna chose Arjun, right? So he has to be a devotee of the Lord. He should at least have, theoretically, he should accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, he cannot understand. And also, he should, you know, he should not be hankering for, material sense gratification like that. So such a person is a fit candidate to understand Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna descends specifically to re-establish the real purpose of life when man forgets that purpose. Even then, out of many, many human beings who awaken, there may be one who actually enters the spirit of understanding his position, and for him this Bhagavad Gita is spoken, right? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha, right? So even out of many, many human beings who awaken, what is that awakening? That this life is not all in all. This life is not all in all. There is something beyond this life. That type of awakening. Out of many, many, many people, hardly one person may have this awakening. And of those who have this awakening, to actually enter the spirit of understanding his position. Now, what is his position? His position is he is a devotee of the Supreme Lord. Huh? Jivera Swarupa hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. So, simply trying to understand that there's something beyond this life. Okay, I'm a spirit soul. Even those who come to that realization, amongst thousands and millions of those, for one to actually come to the spirit of understanding his position as a servant of the Lord, it's extremely rare. That's the point. Actually, we are swallowed, and for such people, this Bhagavad Gita is spoken. For those people who are actually interested in understanding their position. Actually, we are all swallowed by the tigress, female tigress of nescience, means ignorance. But the Lord is very merciful upon living entities, especially human beings. To this end, he spoke the Bhagavad Gita, making his friend Arjun his student. I don't know, do you know the signs of a tigress? Did you hear it in any classes? Why a tigress? Why not a tiger? You don't know? Okay, I'll have to do a little bit of search there. But I think it is said sometime, I'm not able to recollect exactly now. but we are all swallowed by the tigress. Anyone who's swallowed by the tigress, is there any hope of such a person's living? You're captured, you're swallowed by the tigress. Can you live? So Prabhupada is saying, we are all swallowed by the tigress of nations. Nations means avidya. Avidya, forgetfulness of the Supreme Lord, of the Absolute Truth. Still, only because of His causeless mercy, He is giving us this Bhagavad Gita to bring us out of this situation. So for that, He has made His friend Arjun a medium to give this Bhagavad Gita to us, who are all swallowed by the tigress of nations. Being an associate of Lord Krishna, Arjun was above all ignorance. But Arjun was put into ignorance on the battlefield of Kurukshetra just to question Lord Krishna about the problems of life, so that the Lord could explain them for the benefit of future generations of human beings and chalk out the plan of life. Then man could act accordingly and perfect the mission of life. Just imagine if Arjun didn't get bewildered, Bhagavad Gita wouldn't be here. And what would become of all of us? What would be the guiding light for all of us if there were no Bhagavad Gita? So this is simply, sheerly the causeless mercy of Krishna that he has put Arjun into bewilderment so that Arjun could ask the questions which are actually relevant to all of us. And then now Krishna is giving the answers to those questions. Achintadev Prabhu?
Mataji, what I was, again, this is speculation maybe, but tigress is basically protects her cubs, right? So when she's any enemy comes, she would fight, which may be correlated to swallow.
Yes,
So
correct.
that
So
one
she is more ferocious compared
maybe
to the
is what
other
she.
children. Yes, Prabhuji. That's a valid reason. What to speak of a tigress? Even a cow becomes very, protective of the calf. A newborn calf. Normally, I've personally seen this. And normally, cows are very gentle, very, very gentle. But after giving birth, anyone comes close to the calf, she becomes very, very protective. She won't trust anyone. Newborn calf, I'm talking about the same day or like maybe a couple of days after birth. She's very, very protective of the calf. If that's the case of a cow, you can imagine how would a tigress act or behave if she saw anyone. So yeah, that could be the reason. Okay. So I will stop Bhagavad Gita reading here. I did the bookmark already. Let's read Srila Prabhupada's Leela Amrita. Srila Prabhupada is in Butler, and he was taken by Sally Agarwal to the press, and they asked him a few questions, and at first they thought, how would he make a good story for the press? Why should they even publish an article about him? But when they saw him, they were sure that he would make a good article. And then they also interviewed him, asked him some questions. And Prabhupada takes every opportunity to present Krishna consciousness, his mission. So that's what we were reading. Let's continue. The Agarwals had their own opinion as to why Prabhupada had come to America to finance his books, right? To sell his books and make some money. That's what they thought, the Agarwals. To finance his books and nothing more. They were sure that he was hoping only to meet someone who could help him with the publication of his Srimad Bhagavatam, and that he did not want any followers. At least they hoped he wouldn't do anything to attract attention, right? He was staying with them. Actually, they put him in YMCA later, but they were the sponsors. So they hoped that he would not attract any attention. And they felt that this was his mentality also. He didn't want any attention. He just came there to uh, find a good sponsor who would publish his Bhagavatams. He didn't create waves, Sally Agarwal says. He didn't want any crowd. He didn't want anything. He only wanted to finance his books. Perhaps Prabhupada, seeing their nervousness, agreed to keep a low profile out of consideration for his hosts. You see, so Sally Agarwal in her interview is saying that he never wanted any crowd. He was always on a low profile. He was just interested in publishing his books. So Satswarup Maharaj is saying, this is written by Satswarup Maharaj, is saying that perhaps seeing the nervousness, that they were quite concerned that they shouldn't attract any attention. So seeing the nervousness, Prabhupada maintained that low profile while he was with them. At Prabhupada's request, however, Mr. Agarwal held a kind of open house in his apartment every night from 6 to 9. Sally, it was quite an intellectual group that we were in, and they were fascinated by him. They hardly knew what to ask him. They didn't know enough. This was just like a dream out of a book. Who would expect to meet a Swami in someone's living room in Butler, Pennsylvania? It was just really tremendous. In the middle of middle class America, my parents came from quite a distance to see him. We knew a lot of people in Pittsburgh, and they came up. This was a very unusual thing, having him here. But the real interest shown in him was only as a curiosity. He had a typewriter, which was one of his few possessions, and an umbrella. That was one of the things that caused a sensation, that he always carried an umbrella. And it was a little chilly, and he was balding. So he always wore this hat that someone had made for him, like a swimming cap. It was a kind of sensation. And he was so brilliant that when he saw someone twice, he knew who they were. He remembered. He was a brilliant man. Or if he met them in our apartment and saw them in a car, he would remember their name and he would wave and say their name. He was a brilliant man. All the people liked him. They were amazed at how intelligent he was. The thing that got them was the way he remembered their name and his humorous way. He looked so serious all the time, but he was a very humorous person. He was forbidding in his looks, but he was very charming. He was the easiest guest I have had in my life, because when I couldn't spend time with him, he chanted, and I knew he was perfectly happy. When I couldn't talk to him, he chanted. He was so easy, though, because I knew he was never bored. I never felt any pressure or tension about having him. He was so easy that when I had to take care of the children, he would just chant. It was so great. When I had to do things, he would just be happy chanting. He was a very good guest. When the people would come, they were always smoking cigarettes, but he would say, "Pay no attention, think nothing of it." That's what he said. Think nothing of it. Because he knew he were different. I didn't smoke in front of him. Because he knew we were different, I didn't smoke in front of him. I knew I wasn't supposed to smoke in front of Gopal's father, so I sort of considered him the same. He didn't make any problems for anybody. So we will continue the rest tomorrow. Thank you all so much. All of you all are also so nice. I go over time and you don't say anything. Prabhuji, Achintadev Prabhu.
Mataji, a question. I should have asked this early, but we were having a discussion last Thursday in Vishnu Das Prabhu, and we were reading around this place. So he was asking, Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj told him to go to an English-speaking country. So why did Prabhupada come to US, not to other places? And we were trying to find an answer to that.
Acha. So Srila Prabhupada himself says this. Srila Prabhupada said that America, the whole world copies America. Whatever America does, everyone else does.
Okay.
So that's why he wanted to go to America. As far as England, his god brothers had already gone there in the past, right? So Prabhupada wanted to go to a new field, and especially America, because if he was able to impress the people of America to take to Krishna consciousness, he knew the rest of the world would take it up.
Okay.
His job would be, yeah. So that was the reason why he chose America.
Mataji, so Prabhupada said that right somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can look up in Veda base, maybe, conversations when he speaks, or morning walks, like that, he will say
somebody must have asked him this question, definitely.
that. Yeah, maybe.
And the other question came up is, why did Prabhupada carry an umbrella? It was not raining, right? So we all said,
I thought you would know that, because I see here in Bengal, they always carry an umbrella.
that's what we were telling him.
Yeah, because you use an umbrella when it is sunny, and
Correct.
you use an umbrella when it is raining. So
Yeah.
you always carry it, and also you cannot predict when it will rain or not. So they always keep an umbrella.
Yeah, we told him that about the sun.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So we'll
Mataji.
end here. Thank you. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you all very much. I'll see you tomorrow or tonight for you. Chaitanya Bhagavat. Saturday evening we do Chaitanya Bhagavat. Hare Krishna.
Hare
All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.